Okay, so welcome to your live training on how to manifest big visions using the two principles that I'm going to share with you here today. So I just hopped off my amazing mastermind with an incredible group of visionary women, which is called Ascend. And inside Ascend, we're elevating and we're transforming and we're up leveling. And we're really just stepping in to our next expansion and just shifting the reality little by little. And what I want to talk about to you is two principles that I truly believe in and I appreciate when it comes to manifesting big visions. So I'm looking here just to see if anybody's live. And if you are, just say hello. Let me know that you're here. If not, you watch it later, hashtag replay. It helps more members of the group to see this. I'll also be sharing this with my YouTube audience. So if you enjoy this, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you would like more manifesting tips, and not just manifesting tips, creative abundance, creative wellness workshops, and also ways to use the quantum and dial into the quantum. So those kind of sound like your kind of things, then you'll enjoy this group or this channel. So today, here are the two things that dropped in. They're really easy for me to share with you. So I will be sharing them in just a minute. But the first thing is that we are the creators of our own reality. So an exercise that we recently did, let me look for mine, inside of the mastermind, is we created our abundant vision. So I'm going to just show you mine like really quick. It's totally not done yet. And I actually feel that vision boards are like a little bit private. So that's why I'm kind of just showing it really fast. It's a work in progress. I like to make mine every year. So the vision board is not the tip, but it's about the creating the reality. I like to use vision boards because I am a visual person. I am an artist. And one thing that I find consistently, and it just happened in the group this morning, somebody was sharing a vision board that they had created from long ago, and like 90% or more of that board, like things that were just sitting there on the board, are actually happening now or had already happened. Now, this has happened to me too with the last physical vision board. So I create physical ones, and I also create digital ones. Sometimes when I just need to do it really quick and I want to do like a quarterly vision board, or when I do for the year, me personally, I like to call the things from the spiritual realm into the tangible, into the physical. And I use the vision board as a tool to do that. Now, I've heard a lot of, coaches say, oh, don't use the vision board, use a vision map, use a book. You can do all of that. It's honestly, a lot of times we create people in general, we create this duality, like one is not good and the other is good, right? And that's also just part of the Maya. In yoga, that's called Maya. That's part of the illusion. Actually, they're all good. So they're all good tools. And so what happens is we have a thought, and we can start bringing our thought into reality, into the physical realms, into the tangible realms through creating a vision board. Now, if you want to be guided through creating a vision board with me, I have an on-demand class that you can literally start today if you want to be guided through creating a vision board with me on demand. It's really fun, and I'll put the link to that if you ask for it in the comments. Now onto the two principles. So I was getting there when I started talking about how we take things from the spiritual, which is the imagination, the creative realms, the non-physical or the non-tangible realms, bring them into the tangible. Is first we have the thought and we have the imaginings, and then we start to speak about them and we start to take action, which if you saw my video on quantum leaping, I'll put the link to that up here. If you saw my video on quantum leaping, the action, I go a little bit more into that and how to do that. So there's two principles that I want to share today. And that first principle is focus. So the vision board really helps us to focus. It helps us to like have this vision of what we're focusing on and like what we're really calling in. And especially if you're a multi-passionate person, give me a little heart, give me a little thumbs up so I know that I'm not alone. If you have all these amazing, incredible ideas and workshops and services and products that you want to put out into the world and things that you want to create, like, maybe you're creating a retreat or something like that, and you want to create it, you want to put it out into the world, you need to be able to focus. You cannot do all the things at the same time. So the vision board can actually help you really dial into what you want to focus on and what the bigger picture is, and then what do you want to start to focus on next. That's what we actually work with inside of my coaching containers. What we want to focus on next, what things are going to give us the biggest impact and have the most incredible results. How interesting for our business. Okay, so focus is number one. So whatever we focus on, actually, and this is the flip side of it, if we start to focus on, hi, if you're watching live, just give me a hello. If we start to focus on if something happens bad, right? And we start to focus on the negative, we start to focus on feeling undervalued, we start to focus on the client that didn't show up, we start to tell the story that our business isn't successful, then what happens is we are actually telling the universe to reflect that back to us. And I don't mean be in denial, because I do think there's a fine line. Like, we have to be honest, but we have to pick our words and we have to choose our stories. And actually, we get to choose them. So what I suggest in a situation like this, or maybe we're focusing on how we're feeling so stressed out, or focusing on how we're hustling and working so hard all the time, what you can do is you can do a little reframe and you can shift the energy. And I'm never going to say to lie to yourself, even though I know in hypnosis, you actually tell yourself a story. You actually tell yourself the story that you need to hear, because our subconscious mind is so powerful. And I've been learning more and more about that. But I don't feel like I'm yet ready to teach on that. But what you can do, because I like to talk about energy and energy work, is you can shift the energy with a powerful reframe. So you can start telling yourself the story that you're worth it. You can start telling yourself the story that you are making money and focusing on the money that is coming in. You can start to focus on the clients that are saying yes and the clients that are showing up. And I can tell you this from experience, this is how I built a 6-figure business. I built a 6-figure business by focusing on individual successes one by one. The clients, the workshops, the e-course sales, the people raising their hand to buy the products and the art and the pieces that I developed secondary to my services. So people actually love to buy from you. And you can start telling yourself that story. So people actually, this is a different life, hate to be sold to, but they love to buy. So if you give them a way that feels really good, that they're interacting with you, that they can say yes, they can actually accept your services, they actually love to buy. So what I want to talk about is that energy shift and what you're focusing on. So really be honest with yourself and think about, where have you been focusing your energy? And wherever your attention goes, energy flows. This is a saying that I truly believe in. And it's like every moment we're getting to make that choice in the moment. Where are we focusing our energy? Now, if something feels bad, then you have to be honest about that. And you have to say, this doesn't feel good. I'm not going to do this anymore. And this is like the past, this is an old story. This isn't happening anymore. This isn't me anymore. And I'm going to release that. And I'm going to start to focus on something else, something brand new. Okay. So that's one, the principle of focus. And the vision board helps with that. So if you want to do that, let me know in the comments. The second thing that you will probably really benefit from knowing is that the energy, the universe actually responds to the energy of certainty. And certainty is the second principle. And I want to talk about certainty because when you give the universe the message that you are going to be around for a long time doing what you're doing and making an impact, then it's actually just like an energetic shift, but people start to just relax. They start to feel more calm in your presence. They start to feel more secure and more safe because they know that you have that self-belief and that self-confidence and that you are dialed into your purpose. You know what you're here for. You know you're going to be around for a really long time. Now, it might sound, I'm thinking back to like when I started my business about, I'm going to just say like 2014, because that was a big shift for me. I've been online and I've had online presence for over a decade. But 2014, I really dialed into wanting to leave my part-time job and go full in on my business. And I did that like by probably like it took a while. It took me to like 2018, I think, until I had the courage and the momentum to let go. It can happen a lot faster than that, but I knew I wanted to build a sustainable business that would be around for a long time. Now, in the past 3 years since the pandemic, my business has shifted even more than I could have ever imagined back in 2014. But I'm thinking back then to when I was building my creative and my spiritual business. And a lot has changed and a lot has shifted. But what has stayed the same is that certainty, that knowing that, like, this is what I want to do. This is who I am. I'm dialed into my mission. I'm dialed into my purpose. The reason I'm speaking about this is because I work with mostly creative and spiritual entrepreneurs. These are purpose-driven businesses. These are people, these are women that are following their passion and their purpose. It's like sometimes we wake up and we feel like we literally don't have another choice. There's not another option. There's not like something else that we should be doing. If you read about like star seeds and all of that kind of stuff, which I also love and learning a lot more and more about, it's like we're actually here to carry out this purpose of helping others awaken. And we do that through spiritual practices and also through creative practices and healing. Healers are in this group as well, healing practices. So if that is you, then I'd love to know if these resonate with you, that focus and like where your attention goes, the energy flows, and also if the energetic principle of certainty resonates with you. So the more that we ground in, we get really grounded. And I'm an air sign, I'm a Gemini, so I'm like up in the air with a million ideas all the time. The more we can get really grounded and we can start to bring our ideas from the intangible into the tangible. And one way of doing that is a vision board. Another way of doing that is speaking the reality. Then we can start to manifest. If you have any questions about anything in this video, please drop them in the comments. Let me know. My DMs are always open. If you have a question about something really specific or how to work with me, feel free to reach out. And thanks so much for hopping on the live and for joining me live today. I'll see you soon.